Welcome again, YouTubers, to my channel. This is Sheldoc's channel. I am faced with a little dilemma regarding these type of engines in the Toyota Vitz, and I would not just limit it to Toyota Vitz. I would limit it to all newer Toyota engines. What I have noticed is that once they start to give trouble, and you bring it to several mechanics and they cannot fix the problem with the engines, it is best if you can just buy a strip engine and replace it, especially if you notice that you're spending more money on the engine than what the strip engine would cost. So I have had persons having that issue where they start to spend a lot of money fixing different components on the engine, and after checking the price of a strip engine coming from a newer vehicle, it is even less than fixing the engine that they currently have. So what is the situation? Is it better to fix the current engine or the engine that you have in the vehicle, or to buy a engine that is younger than the one that you have? Well, it all depends on you. If you decide that you still want the type of engine in your vehicle that comes with the vehicle, you can try and fix it if you have the money to go and do all of that work. But again, you have other persons who would choose to buy a strip engine and use it in their vehicle. Because personally, what I have noticed is that once the engine start to give you trouble and you bring it to several mechanics and they are not able to fix the engine, that would be the better solution, to get a different engine, put it in the vehicle. When I say different, I mean buy a strip engine of the same type, put it in the vehicle. That can solve your problem, because over time this old engine that you have in your vehicle will start to give trouble again, shorter than you expect, and these trouble will not go away, because the truth is Toyota does not make these engine to last. And based on the small oil passages through the piston, through the oil ring, through the components that should lubricate the engine, you will even notice that if you put a thicker oil in the engine, you may end up having more problems. Why? Because the thicker oil will not be able to lubricate the engine as fast as you want it. And if the lubrication is not taking place, you're gonna have wear on the engine. So the Toyota oil that is used is thinner and lubricate the engine better, because the passageways that are created inside the components that needs lubrication, they are small, they are not large. So a thicker oil will take longer to pass through these passageways to lubricate the engine, creating an even worse scenario for you if you get a thicker oil in these engines. People will say yes, it works better in terms of lubrication, faster. The thicker oil will take longer. But the thinner oil, just as Toyota has designed it, will take a shorter time to lubricate the engine than the thicker oil. So again, the choice is yours to decide based on that situation. And from my experience observing the small holes in the piston and the small holes that are designed in the oil rings on the piston, if you put a thicker oil, it's going to be very difficult for the thicker oil to pass through those oil ring holes to lubricate the piston itself, to lubricate the crankshaft going into the piston, to lubricate it going down into the bearings that is connected to the crankshaft. And if it is going to be more difficult to lubricate these parts, you may have more wear on these parts. This is my assessment of this issue with this vehicle. If you decide to follow my advice, it is your decision, but I'm just telling you based on my observation with this vehicle right now. The vehicle is burning a lot of oil. um can't change it right now, but further on I will decide to change it, because if it's burning oil, I based on a video that I had done before, if I am going to replace the valve seals for the valve, if I am going to replace other components, it's going to cost a lot, because those valve seals, you'd have to remove the cylinder head to take out the valve seals. And if you're going to remove the cylinder head, you might as well change the cylinder head gasket. And if you're going to change that, you might as well change the timing chain. If you change the timing chain, you'd have to go change the sprockets that the timing chain is connected to, and the timing chain tensioner. So these are some things that you would have to change. When you check up the price, it's gonna be a bit pricey, and may, I wouldn't say even may, because my checking and looking at prices for an engine and looking at the price for these components, buying the components will end up cost you more to fix the engine. Well, hopefully this assessment have some bearing on your decision. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have yourself a nice time.